When you need clients, you need them right now. How does 5 new clients in 7 days sound? And yeah, I know that's a huge promise, right? What would 5 new clients in the next 7 days do for your business? And what if you charged each one of them 30% more than you had really planned on doing? Yes, you raised your rates and you asked for the sale and got a yes. Well, 5 yeses. What if getting to those 5 sales, you connected with 12 leads in consultations total that all are interested but may need some lower priced option or want to be on a waiting list because it was no, not right now. And because your beta group is filled. Yes, filled. You reached your goal. What have you also shared with your possible 141 commenters on a post and all followers that you're sorry, but we're closed for this session? But we will have a wait list for the next program. And you shared that and how to get on a notifications list. And what if you nurtured that list with a few quick wins between now and having something ready for them? I'm Deborah Atkinson. You're listening to She Means Fitness Business. It's a division of A Voice for Fitness, which is really my business. And under that umbrella is Flipping 50. And at Voice for Fitness, we believe that you, health professional, want to be an inspiring example to other midlife women. And in order to do that, you and I have to have a profitable business because, like it or not, money talks, and you can do whatever you want with it, including scholarship, and give it all away if you're more comfortable with that. But there's also no reason that you don't have the lifestyle that you want and love doing what you love to do. So what I'd love for you to do is book a call. If you want a one-on-one session, we can accelerate your progress that way. Or right now, what I suggest is you download the Health and Fitness Professional Scorecard. I designed it just for you based on all the things that I've learned in a decade. And let me tell you, those first 3 years were school of hard knocks. You don't have to make all those mistakes. You don't have to go through that slow and painful learning, where the money going out was a lot more than the money coming in. This doesn't have to be a hobby, but unless you take it seriously, like any business person would, and have a business that you could take to the bank and say, here is my business plan, and they would invest in it readily, then we need to fix something. You don't have to go get a bank loan. You can do this bootstrap, grassroots, your favorite term, but you do need a plan. You need to make sure that you're thinking about your time. How much time are you putting in order to do these? If you were going to pay somebody to do what you're doing, how much would that be? Most of us are making about 5 cents an hour for all the time that we're putting in, and potentially not seeing the return on it because we're not all that good at social media or copywriting or creating YouTube videos or thumbnails or the titles and all of the things. And I do believe you have to have a handle. You, businesswoman, I'm talking to you, have to have a handle on copywriting. You need to know good copy because you need to know your customer better than anybody else on your team that you're going to hand them off to, because it was you that started this, you that had the vision. However, you need a little help in getting some of that going, and you need to know your priorities. I'm going to tell you where this link is. It's at fitnessmarketingmastery.com/scorecard. If you don't do anything else, download that. Look at it and do this before the new year or the next season, before spring training or fall. Get back on track no matter what time it is. This is important. But this is a really uplifting and inspiring, and I have chills actually saying that because this just came in on Thursday, and it was 1 week ago Thursday that we kind of put the gentle boot in the buns of one of our WellPros and said, okay, here's what you're going to do. And between then and this last Thursday, there were maybe a couple more texts And a couple of them were simply celebratory. It's like, I signed my first one. I signed my next one. I signed my third one. I'm full. And all those were great. But in between, there were a couple of things like, okay, don't forget, you're going to go back and you're going to say this. Leave the door open for somebody who said no. We need to know, is that no right now or no, not ever? Don't connect with me again. And rarely is it the latter, by the way. So would it be okay with you if you got 5 new clients in 7 days? So instead of just an kind of ethereal, superficial, here's how you do that, I'm going to give you literally what she did. And I'm going to call her Z. And if you're a part of our group, you'll know why, right? But let me tell you about how our WellPro member did it. And at the end, I will tell you a little bit more about the WellPros and how very affordable it is if you also want to join the group. After a week ago Thursday, right? Thursday's hot seat last week, she went into action. And let me tell you, we do hot seats and we generally fill the time with hot seat, hot seat, hot seat. We had a little extra time. And I said, okay, quick questions. Anybody else got something that they want to cover before we go into next week? Because this is the time to actually be launching a program, putting together your Black Friday specials, talking about what will you be promoting during November and December to get people ready. I would never, ever, ever suggest anymore that you wait until January to launch a program. People are buying them as gifts. People are asking for them. I want a membership, honey. Would you get that for me for Christmas? And this is a perfect time to be doing it. So you can still sell some in January, but don't wait to start. Super important. Yep. 11-week-old puppy in the background, very vocal. It's getting close to dinner time. So we're going to rush through this. I promise to honor your time and his, because I am no longer in control. Here we go. So I'm going to tell you all the things step by step. By Friday, just 2 days prior to I'm recording this on Sunday, she'd booked 3 consultations and she'd sold 1. I'm sorry, that's the day after the original hot seat. So that's just 1 day later. She got right on it. But I want to tell you how she did it, because this is really important. So Z was going to wait. That's a little backstory until she was ready. Sound familiar? And she had created a course, and probably she said, I'll do that by January and launch that. I said, oh no. I probably put a more emphatic word prior to no, but I said, no. I said, Josh said, these are really warm leads. She had posted, hey, I'm doing this certification, this flipping 50 menopause fitness specialist. And, said, I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be offering something very new, just teeing it up, planting seeds. So very important. Be sure you're doing things like that. And, I think some of us are reluctant to say, I'm still learning, like sharing with people. People love that. Number one, they love to cheer for you. They love to know that you continually reach for new and more deeper information. Celebrate it and share it. Don't hide that, because then they think you're just making it up as you go along. Do you know that? So do share it, but she did. And so I suggested, she's got warm leads. 141 people commented on, oh my gosh, congrats, and like that. Can't wait. Other people said, oh, I really need that. And those people pay attention to, right? And I suggested those warm leads who responded in a post that they needed the support of a menopause fitness specialist that she was taking could not wait to cool off. We can't wait to let them cool off to gain that holiday weight. You know what happens when people gain that? Mentally kind of check out and they feel bad about themselves, and they think of themselves as somebody other than somebody who starts a new program and gets results. So she needed to reach out now. That was number 1, just to set you up. So 2, Z was set to charge $497 for a small beta group, and she had a limited number that she was able to take on. I said, add 200 of that. I know I might have blown her away if I just said double it, but so I said add 200 to it. That's 30% more, right? So if you're doing the math, it's going to be a small group. They're going to get a lot more individual attention. They need to pay for that much time with you. And So, number three, she reached out to these social only acquaintances. I want to call your attention to that social only. So, they had commented on a social media post. She DM'd them asking if they'd like to meet for a quick consultation. She booked 3 sessions in a day. She sold one, got a maybe from the second, and from the third, she got a no, not right now. Over the next 6 days, the rest of this week, she booked more consultations, filled all 5 slots, making 3,400 plus and a little change for a course she hasn't even built yet. Now, if you could see her smile as we were doing Zoom and she was telling about it, it was pretty much ear to ear. And it should have been. I mean, she was fantastic in terms of taking action, jumping out there, doing it before she actually felt she was ready. But then look what happened. So she was, I want to make this clear, she was limited by the platform she's testing for the size of group. She'll have the opportunity to show proof of concept with this small group, though. She'll have testimonials to use for the actual launch, and she'll know that the price point is very reasonable because she got 5 people in just talking to 12, right? Even less than that because she probably hadn't talked to all of them before she closed it. She knows that, ordinarily it's a much smaller percent of people who will buy if they're cold, they're not warm. So if there is reason to be on the fence, like price point that's a little uncomfortable for somebody, this clearly wasn't. So, and she knows a lot of information already. So she'll be able to show transformation, show proof of concept, and, get in there. So number 5, Z is lit up. She's lit up excited. She doesn't just have 5 new clients in 7 days. She has momentum. How do you think that will boost her November and December sales? Because right now we're at the very tail end of October. It's going to blow them through the roof, right? Because now she's thinking, okay, I will already have built this program and proven it. And now I know I'm going to be able to offer this, and she can sell it before it's done while she's running this beta group and say, look, I know she's got some copies she can use, right? I know that many of you were disappointed you couldn't get in on this beta group, but good news, we're going to open it up for the next session. That's going to happen in January. And we're going to give it to you over Black Friday for a very special. So you've got lots of reasons to say, okay, we can create urgency again and again and again. So how can you two get 5 new clients in 7 days or better, which is what I want you to say. Always, always. Those of you who are manifestors, you already know this rule. So you don't just limit yourself by saying, I want 5 clients in 7 days. You want 5 or more. 5 clients in 7 days or better. Maybe you want 5 clients tomorrow. Okay, right? That would be okay. So I've been talking all month about our WellPros Mastermind. I just wanted to tell you how it's laid out, how it works. In case you missed it, it's not too late. In fact, it's not too late to get in the founder's rate, but it soon will be. So we're just about shutting down that. And that means you can get in at $49 a month as opposed to $79 a month. Still a bargain. If you've worked with a coach hourly session or 50 minutes is generally what we do for business is anywhere between 500 and 1,000 per hour, right? Because it's not like coaching a customer on their health changes. You're going to make money on what it is we're talking about. And so always a business or an executive coach is a higher fee, always. So this is a very reasonable rate. But here's the catch. There is no catch. It's a month to month. I'm not offering actually right now. We're not offering an annual rate. We're keeping it month to month to lighten the load, lighten the pressure. My goal is to get you on there. Have you tell me about your urgency. Let me give you the highest priorities so that you can do the things with your time and your money and your energy that count the most to move the needle. I know that I can help you. I've been doing this helping other fitness professionals for 30 years. I've been making my own way for 40. I know I can help you. So if you're open to taking the coaching and running with it like Z, just not asking questions, not finding excuses, not finding but just doing it. What do you have to lose if you know you can help people? Don't you think it's your responsibility to really swing the bat? Don't don't be thinking, I can hear you over here, by the way, that you need another certification, that you need a degree, that you really don't have experience. You already do. I was on the phone last week, and if you're listening, you know who you are. And she was talking about, but I don't have a certification yet. I don't have a degree yet. And I said, you're still miles ahead of some other people by School of Hard Knocks. Listen and look at what you've done. And you also can count somewhat the training that you have done with a chiropractor and a strength and conditioning coach, and working through what are the best ways to work through some health issues that you've got, scoliosis, working on depression, those kinds of things. You can tell your story and you can say, here's what worked for me. You can stay within your scope of practice. You can be working with people while you gain more credibility if you feel you need it. And I would have to agree. I'd like to see her get a certification. However, right now, what she needs is confidence. And confidence, honestly, won't come from a certification. You know that, and I know that. Confidence comes from working with people and helping them see results. From just knowing what is within my scope of practice. What can I do? So, again, there's no contract. It's month to month. You have to give us 3 days notice. If you fail to do that, we're going to take you into the next month and then we will cancel. You get access to the library. So we've got a 2-hour kickoff call on there that talks more about foundational things that you want in place. It's really our business scorecard in action, talking about what has to be there, what you need in terms of the thought, the mission, the real belief, what your business through line is, those types of things. And then when we get on the hot seats every Monday, you get an email that invites you to apply for a hot seat. Say you're going to do a Black Friday special. Here were the 2 prices that you were thinking about, and here's what you're offering. Oh, and is this high enough? Is it too much? What should I offer? And we pour into you for about 12 minutes each time. So there are 4 hot seats every week. Inevitably, I promise that everybody will get the opportunity to do at least 2 hot seats every 6 months. And almost always, if I don't meet that, what we'll do is throw in an extra call. We do 3 calls every month. We do them Thursdays at noon, Arizona time. I know you may be sleeping there in New Zealand or Australia, and that's okay. This is probably one of the only masterminds where you can apply for a hot seat even if you can't be there. And you will get the replay and it will be there the next day. Now, you have to do a really good job if that's true for you, that you won't be there. You have to do a really good job of describing. You can't throw in the kitchen sink and ask for 57 things in a single question. That's not a good hot seat question. But I promise you, if you've got very specific, you give us a little background, we can definitely get you thinking about the right things and the right first actions you must take. So, all these things to think about. Plus, you'll have a CEU course every 6 months. It's just an added perk. So we'll talk specifically things that are bonuses, like how do you create an affiliate program? How do you affiliate for other people and tie that into the programs and the coaching that you may already be doing, so you have a new revenue stream that's passive? Really, you're not doing anything for it. You're just promoting something that is going to make your customers or clients more successful and that they're probably going to buy or need anyway. Okay, so this is a collaboration of others and of coaching by me. Coaching from a 0 to 6 figure a month coach. There's no better thing, is there? Now, I could just sit here and say, I have been doing this for 40 years, right? And I've been personal training for 30, and I've been coaching other fitness professionals on how to be better, more credible, more authoritative, build your business kind of business owners, studio owners, gym owners, and personal trainers. And I had to start all over. 30 years into it, I just quit everything and relocated, and really relocated from in person to online. So, yes, I had access now to the world, but do you know that's a big place? And there's a lot of other people in the world also advertising to them. So, it wasn't as easy as it sounded and as marvelous. And some of you know that from going online during the pandemic. There are questions that you forget to ask, and you really do have to niche down. You have to know your messaging, words that attract and words that repel. So there are other success stories coming from the WellPros. Some are Black Friday weekend based, others about testing and research via social media. They're coming. Just stay tuned. And better yet, what if you had a big win? What if it were you that were the success story? What would that look like? So, are you connected? Please add the Fitness Marketing Mastery website and social links. Connect with us. We're in Facebook. And I realized this, that in our Facebook page, there's almost nothing that you want to share, because if your customers are following you, you're certainly not going to tell them, oh, here's what I'm learning about marketing and sales. Totally get that. So we don't look for big accounts, but you can DM me at Flipping50TV on Instagram. I don't respond to messages on Facebook at the moment. Maybe I don't on Instagram either. I don't know. Anybody ever go through headaches and pains with your account being not available? Good grief. Although I feel like it should feel like a free pass. But unfortunately, it doesn't, because we have a lot of communications going on over there too. But such is life. No big deal. We shall survive this. All right. So make sure you're coming over, grab and download that scorecard. If you already have that scorecard, let this be a wake-up call. Like so many others have said, I did that once and now I'm doing it again every month. And I'm slowly working on the things that really move the needle. And just because you worked on that thing once doesn't mean you're done. So if you're working on a freebie, you got a freebie up now, but it's not actually converting, you may go back to that freebie and start over, perfect it, do it again, look at it, have 5 people you know and trust who are your ideal partner or your ideal customer, look at it and get some feedback. We're always doing that. Even I'm doing that after 40 years. And one of the worst things I could possibly do is decide, already know it all. Already know exactly what my customer wants. None of us can do that, because our customer is constantly evolving and growing as well. Even if I've worked with midlife women, do you know the midlife woman that I worked with 35 years ago, right? As a grad student or undergrad, it was very different in terms of what she knew and what kind of questions she knew to ask than the woman of today. The woman of today is getting a lot more information. The one who's seeking you is getting a lot more information about menopause and menopause fitness, and she knows the questions to ask, and she can sniff out someone who is a menopause fitness expert and someone who's simply bluffing a little bit. So make sure you know your stuff, of course, and then take it all the way to the bank. Join us on the WellPros or the Flipping 50 Menopause Fitness Specialist. If you're not already certified, now's the time. Do it now before we get too hot and heavy into that brand new year. Okay, so this is a juicy one. I know if you want to come over to show notes, we'll put the links to connect with me. I'll put the links to the specialist, the scorecard, and a copywriting course that now would also be a perfect time. You're going to fly through that. You could do it in a week. You could do it binging in a day. And then you're going to have some homework, because you're going to want to work on those. And this is another thing that you could use to share in a hot seat. You could read a letter. You could send me a letter and say, what do you think of this? Is there anything that you would tweak here? Perfect example of a great hot seat question. I hope that was helpful to you, no matter what, but know this: 5 new clients in 7 days. You can do it. Even with a course you haven't even built yet, even with a course that you're just completing, a course on yourself. It's possible. Show notes will be at fitnessmarketingmastery.com/5 new clients. What are you waiting for? The world needs you right now more than ever.